All right, what's going on, everybody? How's it going? Thank you so much for stopping by, man. I just finished Death Stranding 2. Wanted to talk about it, maybe do a little review. I don't know what this is going to be. I really just want to sit down and talk about this game just because I'm about 100 hours in. I've done a lot of things, completed the game, and I'm still trying to process like the end of the game. Like the last couple of hours of this game was just absolute bonkers, absolutely insane. Trying to process everything, dude. I do think it dragged a little bit at the end. I do think it got super crazy, over the top. I think some people are gonna like that. Some people are gonna probably be like, "What the hell, Kojima?" I'm somewhere in between, but I really liked this game. I loved this game, I should say. I loved the first one and I loved the second one. I feel like it took the first game and it just did it even better. Not a lot of games, I feel like, or maybe I shouldn't say not a lot of games. There are games out there where I feel like the sequel kind of loses the magic or the touch. And there are some things in Death Stranding 1 where I felt like it was a little bit cooler. You know, obviously like meeting Fragile for the first time and like hearing her story and all this stuff. Like, so a little bit of that magic goes away, but in terms of quality of life, in terms of gameplay, in terms of all of the other stuff, I think this game is a phenomenal game. And I said it in my first impressions, but I think this is probably one of the best games out there in terms of like setting the bar extremely high. It's using the Decima engine, which is probably the best engine in the industry. The game is absolutely insane looking. It is so crazy that I'm not even playing it on PC. It's not even out on PC. It probably will come out at some point like the first one, but I'm playing on the PlayStation 5 Pro. I didn't even play it in 60 frames, dude. I didn't want to sacrifice the visuals, even though they probably wouldn't have been a huge difference. I'm kind of weird when it comes to frame rates. Like, I appreciate 60 frames, of course, always, but like sometimes if it's like a really good lock 30, I'm cool, I'm okay. And I played this game for 100 hours. I'm still playing it. I actually decided, or I was trying to decide, like, do I put this game away? Or do I go for the platinum, or at least 5-star everything, because I'm still enjoying the game? And I said, it's probably time to walk away, take a little bit of a break. I'm going to play Metal Gear Solid Delta soon. I'll probably play Diablo 2 a little bit until that comes out. I'm going to PAX West. So this is like a good downtime period for me. And the very next day so I beat it, I think on Monday night. The very next day I go and I'm like delivering packages and I'm like, I don't think I'm done with this game yet, just because the gameplay for me is just so satisfying, dude. I don't know what it is. It's the way you it's all the mechanics and the sound effects and all the things that, all the things that work together in this game that make it a truly addicting game. Like when you go and you pick up packages and you're going through the menus and you're hearing all the sound effects. And then when you go deliver, it has like this very, very dopamine level satisfaction when you are about to deliver packages, especially if they're like, in perfect condition. And the point A to point B journey of, planning your route. Half the time, I don't even plan. I'm just like, all right, let me go. And then I open up the map as I go. But there's just this level of satisfaction to this game that is absolutely addicting. And it's so much fun. And I said it before, but there is something just so badass about Sam and his gear and the way the exosuit sounds and the way you have all the cargo on you. And now that the combat is better and traversing just feels a little bit better, right? There's something just so satisfying about the way this game looks. Of course, Decima engine is beautiful, but it's really that Metal Gear Solid inspiration, that Kojima signature, that is all over this game. That I just love this world. Like, I love the craziness and the weirdness. And, when it comes to the story, like, I'm kind of just, it's like a roller coaster. I'm kind of just hanging on and seeing where it goes. I'm enjoying it. I don't play this game for the story. I play it for the gameplay. I play it for, when you're trekking from point A to point B, when you're building roads, when you're building bridges, when you're connecting with other players in this like sandbox, single player, but connected with other people type game. It's such a unique game. It is probably, when I beat the game story wise, it's probably the craziest game I've ever played. I don't think any other game has topped Death Stranding 2, I think. And I was trying to decide if I do spoilers or not in this video. And I think to fully articulate my points, I think I'm going to spoil some things. So here's your warning. But, all the characters, all the new characters are awesome. Tomorrow and Rainy is awesome. Like, everybody has their special powers. Tomorrow was all along your Lou, your daughter, your kid. I do like where that story went. That was a really good surprise. And I'm pretty surprised like the internet didn't spoil that, at least for me. But that was a really, really cool surprise that kind of made sense within the story. And, Tomorrow is such a badass character. She's super powerful. I love seeing her on screen when she's doing her stuff. Higgs is absolutely unhinged and crazy. You got so many returning characters. There's so much goofiness. There's so many moments of like seriousness, but also like goofiness and over the top. Like the guitar scene at the end. It's just so crazy, dude. It is so crazy, man. I do think it went a little overboard when it came to the craziness of the game, but again, it's a Kojima game, so I didn't expect anything different, but I really, really love this game. I really appreciate this game in a time where I feel like a lot of games just kind of are too afraid to do things and think outside the box or do anything different. And you see a lot of games copy and paste. Here comes Death Stranding 1 and 2, and it is absolutely insane. Even when it came to the gameplay, when I first found out about the gameplay, I'm like, on paper, it sounds super boring. Like you're a delivery man in a post-apocalyptic, like weird setting, but somehow Kojima makes it work. And I will say, like, I don't think this game is for everyone. I think I said that for the first game. I think a lot of people share that same opinion. Like, if you're a casual gamer and you play, maybe 1-2 games a year and you're super casual, you're probably not going to appreciate this game. You're probably not going to appreciate the artistic vision and perspective that this game offers. And I could be wrong. There probably are, some people out there who, don't game much, but they found this game and they love it. And I hope that's the case. But I think a lot of people, get turned off by this game because I think you have to have a lot of patience. You have to have a lot of patience, man, especially when you're delivering cargo like super far. I think around the end of the game, you're delivering like a lot of cargo super far. It's not for everyone. Like a lot of people are not going to enjoy that. And I think it takes a certain type of gamer. And I don't say that to sound above anybody at all, because I'm not like that. I think this game is not for everyone. And I think Kojima even said that. I think he said something crazy like, I had to make this game not as good. I was like, bro, that's so Kojima. He was like, I had to tone it down a little bit because too many people like it. I don't want too many people liking it. I want it to be decisive. And I don't know how accurate that is. But I remember reading that and I was like, okay, bro. All right, son. 'Cause sometimes Kojima does get made fun of a little bit for, some people think he's overrated. Some people think, he's a little too full of himself. I'm gonna be honest, man. After playing Death Stranding 2, I am fully on board with Kojima, dude. I am a Kojima fanboy. I love this game so much, and I understand what he's doing, and I see the vision, even though it might not always be interpreted or executed in the best way possible. I think he was able to really execute on his vision in the second one more than the first one. The first one kind of fell short in some areas, but the second one, I really feel like this is the game he really, really wanted to deliver. And, despite the haters and despite all the people that think he's overrated, I do think this man is really good at what he does. You can say whatever you want, but he was able to make this game, bring all these artists to the game, mocap all these people. Like, I think he's a visionary, man. And I think he definitely deserves his name in the industry. I think he's a legend in the industry, man. That's enough about Kojima, man. Yeah, I really love this game. I think this game is my game of the year between this one and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, just because how much I absolutely love that game, man. I think that game in terms of RPG is really the next level. Like first person Skyrim style RPG, but Death Stranding 2, man. Yeah, I don't think it's for everyone, but I do think that if you really take the time to invest in this game and let this game kind of immerse you in it, like it's a game that is so hard to put down. It's a game that, every time I sit down and play Death Stranding 2, I'm putting down at least 3 hours, at least, of my time, because it's so hard to get on and like play for a half an hour, even an hour, and then get off. Like delivering packages over and over again, going and building a road, going and delivering material, going and doing combat, especially if you still have 5 stars to do. Like there's so much to do in this game. So I'm at 100 hours and I can easily put another 100 hours for the platinum. But those are really my thoughts when it comes to Death Stranding 2. It's an amazing game, dude. It's such a crazy game. I feel like it's such a crazy experiment. And like I said, in a time where you just don't see a lot of games like this. Obviously it's big budget. Obviously a lot of money was put into this game, but you just don't see a lot of games like this. And I appreciate the hell out of it, man. But those are my thoughts on Death Stranding 2. Wanted to sit down with you guys, talk about it, man. This is probably my last video covering Death Stranding 2. I'll probably move on to other stuff. But love this game. If you're out there, if you're even remotely curious, go check it out, man. And have an open mind to this game, because there are some really crazy things that this game does. But I think the most important thing is try to have some patience when it comes to this game, because you're going to be traveling a lot. And I personally love that journey. I love, hiking it with all your cargo. And it's really boring. Like there's a lot of boring moments in this game, and it's all really perspective. Like they're boring, but they're satisfying, if that makes sense. Thank you so much for stopping by, man. Hit that like button if you like this video and consider subscribing to the channel, man. And I hope you guys take it easy. Peace.